time here in the States, but I think for my SA people, you guys are like 6 hours ahead of us. So, you guys are like 6 hours ahead of us. So, it's probably closer to lunchtime for you all. But I just wanted to come on, let you guys know that I made it back to the States, and I'm not happy about that. Okay? Um, Getting ready to make my coffee as usual. I have this beautiful, let's get into this cup. Do y'all see this cup? Amazing. I got this when I was in South Africa. I've already told my kids, don't touch my cup. So we're gonna make some coffee. We're gonna go outside and talk to the ducks. Um, Once we talk to the ducks, I'll come inside and get ready for work. Yes, you heard me, work. So I'm back home. I'm settled. Um, I actually got back a few days ago. I was depressed about that. Um, but nonetheless, I had to get back to life, back to reality, right? So we're gonna go get our creamer, put some creamer in, and then we're gonna go outside and say good morning to the ducks. Oh goodness. Make my coffee. I don't know about you guys, but secret, I don't drink my coffee after I brush my teeth. I brush my teeth after I drink my coffee. Now, I know y'all, some of y'all might say, that's nasty, but that's my business. Don't come on my post telling me how to brush my teeth and when to brush my teeth. Okay? All right. So, got us some coffee. I like my coffee. Gotta be the same color as my skin. Stir it up. Stir it up. And let's get into these ducks. All right, people. Y'all know as soon as I open this door, they're gonna come, right? So I think the last time I did a live. I think I had 7 ducks. I came back home to 5. As you can see, I'm gonna turn my camera around. And they're coming. But let's get into these feathers. Do y'all see these feathers on the ground out here? It's a whole crime scene. This is a crime scene, people. Look at this. Look, there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 ducks. I'm telling y'all, these some ghetto ducks. These ducks look like turkeys. Hey y'all, my little Kardashians. I ain't got nothing for y'all this morning. All right, we're gonna go over here and sit by the pine. I'm not playing with y'all. Get back. Look, just feathers everywhere. They done killed the poor ducks. Look, feathers all in the pine. Just a whole crime scene out here. Oh, goodness. Just turn this around. All right, guys. So, I know a lot of you been wanting me to come on and talk about my trip to SA and what happened this time. I think my trip this time was a little more intentional. I had a to-do list. I had some things that I wanted to get accomplished before I left. One of them was to open up my bank account. The second one was to connect with more people, more resources, so that I can expand my options when I come there. Another one was to experience the home life as opposed to the Airbnb life. So I was able to accomplish all three. Um, I actually went and I opened up a bank account at FNB. That was a rather slow and challenging process for me because I don't have an SA phone number and I don't have an SA address. So I was able to still open up the non-domestic, non-resident account. Um, and I put some money in there. And my goal is to just continuously feed that account money and don't touch it. So if and when I do come there, um, I'll have a little cushion, if you know what I mean. So I was able to open up my account. The second thing that I wanted to do, which was connect with more people, more resources, which I did. I actually, of course, I had to go see my people at the Steve Biko Hospital, right? Because if you're not giving in life, what are you doing? Taking. So I always like to um, give more than I receive, and I always like to give more than what people expect, from me. So I actually met a really, really interesting doctor. She was a neurosurgeon, and now she is a neurologist. Her name is Dr. Kakaza. This is the first black female neurosurgeon that I have ever met. So needless to say, that was very inspiring for me. I spent some time with her. She told me her story. I met some students, of course. Spent some time in the ICU there, which was very heartbreaking for me. And of course, I had to go and spend some time in their gym to see what all equipment that they had there compared to, the equipment that I have here at my facility. So I didn't see where there was much of a difference. Of course, here in the States, we are a little more advanced technology wise and resource wise. So, but I did see a lot of the same vent machines that we have here. I saw them there in the ICU. I did find one interesting thing, which I actually love, and that was that they are still paper charting. So, here in the States, we have electronic medical records, which means everything goes into a computer. And you can't really see everything at one time on the computer. You got to navigate to different folders and different sections of the electronic medical record to get the information that you need. However, they still paper chart, which I like. It was a huge, almost like a poster size documentation form. And you could see what everybody was writing from every discipline, what the patient goals were, their medicines. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So sometimes simplicity is better, right? And I think I like that approach. Other than that, I got to meet a few nurses, a few staff members that were all very, very, very pleasant. I went to the gym. I saw they had they do a lot of they do aquatherapy, they do hydro it's like hydro skin therapy or something like that. I said, ooh, I almost want to get in this machine. Maybe to do something for my skin, because these blemishes, when you're getting older, they hard to get rid of. Anyhow, so I did that. I went to the hospital. Spent some time with Dr. Kroon, Dr. Kazi, and Dr. Pile. Shout out to Dr. Pile. He's always ready and available when I'm there to accommodate my visits. He always coordinates things for me. Let's see what else. Oh, and I my third to-do item was to go to stay at the Assads. Now, my reason for going to stay at the Assads is because they are now permanently there and they have a house there. So I spent about a week at my Airbnb at the Tyrwhitt, which I love. And then I spent the following week at the Asides. Needless to say, I am a fan of the indoor outdoor living. Yes, I'm a city girl, but something about this country just do something to my spirits. And I like to sit outside. Hence, I do it every morning. Come play with the ducks, sit outside by the pond, drink my coffee, and just, kind of connect with nature. Anyhow, so their home arrangement is an indoor outdoor living situation, which I very, 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 very much love. The only thing that I can say was different as far as the home environment um, versus the Airbnb, of course, it's long term. The home environment is long term, but I wanted to do it to get a feel for what it would be like to actually live there, and be in my own house and have my backyard, and it was a great experience. Shout out to the Asides, y'all really setting the example. I always say they walk so we can run. So I let them work things out first, and then I kind of come behind them and reap the benefits of it. Right, make life a little easier for me. Um, Create that easy button. If y'all know me, y'all know I'm all about an easy button. Easy button for the patients, easy button for family members, just easy button in life, period. Everything don't always have to be so complicated. So I enjoyed the home living. I found it very interesting that each bedroom had a bathroom in it, which I love, because we fight over bathrooms here at my house. It was a nice community. It was gated, protected, and I felt like if I were to settle there at some point, home life would be really enjoyable, provided I pick the right setting, right? So, did the home environment thing. Now, let's get into this meetup that we did. We went to this place called the Room. I may be saying it wrong, but it's called the Rumors. Um, Nice vibe. Of course, we always underestimate people coming to the event, and we kind of ran out of space, so we were like taking over a large portion of the restaurant. But I like the food, and I like the setting, but most importantly, I enjoy being able to connect with the people that we only get to see on YouTube or talk to in the comment sections or what have you. And of course, people recognize me for my ducks, or they recognize me as quote unquote B. The side calls me B. So it's always a good feeling when you are welcomed, um, and people enjoy your presence, right? Let's see. Hi, Brandy. Did you enjoy music at the festival, and are you thinking of visiting Cape Town? Absolutely. Let's. You know what? I forgot about the festival. Let's get into this festival because y'all know I'm a festival girl. We have a lot of festivals here in Louisiana. We have Crawfish Festival. We have the Strawberry Festival. We have any kind of jazz festival, crab festival, any kind of festival you could think of, we have it here. So when we got there, it wasn't crowded at all, but it slowly got very, very crowded. No, I shouldn't say slowly, quickly. It got quickly crowded. Um, but it was a nice, easy environment. I love the live music. I'm a live music fan. Um, and that was another thing to kind of that grabs my attention about potentially coming to stay there, because even though we want something new, when we move or when we change in life, we still like some of those old things that give us not so much value, but where we get our entertainment and our enjoyment from. And festivals are one of those things for me. So I really enjoyed the festival. I really enjoyed the live singing. um, I didn't really eat out there, but I did taste some wine. Shout out to Haas. Their wine was really, really good. And as far as me visiting Cape Town, absolutely. My plan is to come back towards the end of the year because my birthday is in December 2nd, actually. And I think there's some arrangements for the Asides are going somewhere for a wedding, and I might attend that with them. And it's in Cape Town. So that most definitely I want to visit Cape Town when I come back. But let's get into what did I learn from the trip? What did I learn from the trip? What did I take back? Um, how did it change my perspective? Did it change my perspective? So, what I learned from this trip is that everything is a process, right? And if you know me, I'm a process person, but I don't like the process to take too long. So I do know that, oh, it's your birthday too. You know, December Sagittarius people, we're a special kind of people. Anyhow, everything is a process. So I'm a very process system driven person. Um, you know, if you develop a system and you have to do A, B, C, D, I'm a firm believer in doing A, B, C, D and in that order. Otherwise, something is gonna go wrong. Um, but I'm a very impatient person. So what I took away from this trip is that this process of me potentially moving to South Africa is going to be very slow, right? And we don't like slow. You know, we come from a microwave society where we want everything now, now, now. Um, so in my haste to potentially move to South Africa, I could potentially make a lot of mistakes, and I don't want to do that. So the lesson, I'm sorry about that, guys, but slow down, enjoy the process, live in the moment, and just be mindful of the way I move. So I know initially I'm like, oh, I want to move to South Africa. I want to move to South Africa because I went there and I experienced it and I loved it. But I'm starting to realize that there are more places other than South Africa. Will I visit those places? I'm not sure. Um, I'm supposed to be going to Ghana next year, so we'll see how that goes. My ancestry traces back to Ghana, but I guess I'm gonna just take this process a little slower and not rush it, um, because I'm still trying to find out my niche and how do I get there? What's the best way for me to move there? What do I want to pursue, like a retired life and get into just doing missions and helping other people, or do I want to go there and work and have to get a job and make a living and so on and so forth? So that that's what I took away from this trip, that I needed to probably slow down a little bit, be a little more patient with this process so that I don't make any mistakes, and make sure this is exactly what what I want to do. So that's one lesson learned. Um, Another lesson that I learned, and some of y'all might get this and some of y'all might not, but everything that grin don't tickle. I'm gonna say that again. Everything that grin don't tickle. So I met some interesting people on my trip this occasion. Um, some of them was from South Africa, some of them weren't. But this one particular individual that I met was very odd. We'll say odd, just to err on the side of caution, not be offensive. So that was interacting with that person. Uh, I want to say gave me a different. I learned another lesson. Let me say that. I learned that cultural differences are very, very real. Um, and everybody don't see things at your from your perspective and don't understand things from your perspective. Um, I always wondered what would life be like in South Africa as it relates to people and being able to communicate with people, and how would I be affected by language barriers and communication barriers. So that's another lesson that I learned that I have to work on. Everybody doesn't understand or um, agree with the way we say or do things. We all individuals. Um, so I found that in interacting with this person, a lot of things that I would say, which were intended to be maybe a compliment or something nice, that person didn't receive it that way. And it was very hard and challenging for me to explain um, what I meant when I was talking to them. Because if you know me, I mean what I say, and I say what I mean. Um, but just the continued unsuccessful interactions with this person really made me have to step back and reevaluate some things. I'm like, this is my first time really, really experiencing upfront cultural differences and the effects of language barriers. And I don't want to have to be in a situation where I have to constantly explain myself, constantly explain that um, I didn't mean it that way, or I didn't intend for you to take it that way. Um, I just don't have time for that, right? Especially if you're not in that top 10 category for me. And if y'all know me, top 10 is real. So for me, top 10 is I look at my 10 fingers, and each finger represents somebody that's important in my life. So a lot of times I have to say, this this person not in my top 10. They not in my top 10. So do I want to deal with this or do I not want to deal with it? So if you're not in my top 10, I just choose not to deal with things. But anyhow, I'm getting off subject, going on a rant. I took away from this trip that communication, language barriers, cultural differences, and cultural diversity play a real big relationship in will play a real big relationship in my move. And how can I best tackle that? Do I need to come there a little more often and interact with people a little more often to understand the culture, to accept the cultural differences, and try to figure out a way to navigate around the cultural differences? So that was another lesson learned. Let's see what we got going on. Many countries are lovely on the continent. I will look into this once. Yeah. So I guess my coffee cup almost empty. So once the cup is empty, that means it's time for me to go. And then these ducks are about to start coming attacking me because I came out here and didn't bring them no food. But it was a pleasure coming on talking to you guys. I know I don't post often. I just be having so much to do. And sometimes I'm just not in the mood. But I'll try to post a little more often. But what do I want you guys to take away from this video? I want you guys to take away from this video that we are all blessed and that God is always in the details. Remember, God is always in the details. Now, don't forget the devil be in the details sometimes too. So you got to watch out for that. But other than that, I want you guys to drink your coffee and be blessed. Peace.